he is another again like with Brad and Asian Tom, another Marvel OG going up against Carmine, who comes from the NRS KI scene.
Interesting.
That's a really interesting cross-pollination. There's a fundamental difference in the approach to gameplay and neutral from those two different styles. NRS in particular I feel like NRS players just know how to deal with staggers and play around that style of a game because it's so central to the way everything works in that game.
It's very, very much so. So we are going to be starting this from 20 seconds.
20
All right, so once everybody is set, we will get ready to roll into this here.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, it's here we go. So actually, right before we start, let's actually take a look at the teams real quick because chat's already commenting on this this Cooler
gang,
right?
Cooler.
Now this is a character who has not seen as much play recently. He has slowly been creeping up a lot of tier lists, just kind of in the mid tiers. So how do you guys feel about Cooler? I know how chat feels. Chat is on the Booler game.
Chat is blowing up. I think Cooler's a really cool character. I think most of the characters that have access to an additional low have some extra versatility in the way they apply their block strings. It was good on Cell. It's never bad to have.
Right.
His neutral is really strong. Now the dive kick is particularly powerful. He's just a big imposing presence on the screen.
I mean, he's got some of the biggest buttons in the game, like bar none.
Yeah. I do have a quote from his player profile that I'm going to read off. Coming from the Versus Fighter background, Marvel 3 and Marvel Infinite, I have played characters like Rocket Raccoon, Hulk, Wolverine, etc. And they've also have some sort of resemblance to prior stuff I've played. Bardock and GG kind of filled those voids best to me. It also doesn't hurt that they're cheap as hell. I also like both the characters lore-wise somewhat.
You know what? I respect you playing to your background.
That's kind of huge. I think that's just kind of working with the knowledge that you've made throughout the years. I think that's kind of like, like you've seen like that's kind of like I remember Brad once talking about like my team at one point randomly. And you called it like a fine wine, like aging. One of the things that I looked at was like teams that I played in my past, like in Marvel 3, because I played Hawkeye, Spencer, Dante.
Right.
And it's just like, how can I put that in this game in some way? And then my team kind of came about, and I was like, you know what, this makes sense. Plus, I like the characters, so it just all works out. So, and then going up against Pumper Jam. Now, Pump is one of 2 Majin Boos in the Summit.
Of all characters to get that much love, right? Like that and 2 Blukus.
That's interesting. He does play Bardock on the side. We had that incredible. Probably my favorite match I've ever played of Dragon Ball was when I went out to Mass to play Pumper Jam. I feel like he's one of the strongest players to come from this group, without question. Brad mentioned it before. So let's get into this. We are starting at 20 to 21 seconds. So let's get into it, boys.
All right,
ready?
Here we go.
All right.
Let's do it.
Jumping on in right here. And I mean, his opponent, Pumper Jam's also got an interesting team himself, right? Like, we've got the least played character in the game represented here.
Yeah. You're just seeing Cravate just...
Yeah, this is absolutely insane. This was also that low pickup that you were actually talking about a little bit earlier.
Yeah. This character is definitely like... I feel like Cravate switching... Because I know he didn't play Cooler on point for a while. I think he was switching off between Bardock and Cooler.
Yeah.
I think him going to Cooler on point is like a really good play. Because one, it kind of turns into a Piccolo effect or a 21 effect, where it's like you aren't as susceptible to fuzzies until you make them move to hard tag out, or the opponent has to force 2 snaps, right?
Yeah. Also, characters who are fuzzyable, they if you can bring them in later in the match, it's a much less of an issue because you've likely traded if the game's going reasonably, right? You've likely traded character for character, which means that the amount of fuzzy setups are much fewer,
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of the fuzzy, we see the hard tag mix up right there where Cravate does, I imagine with that much bar, he's going to lose the...
Yeah, that is going to be it. Pumper Jam screaming at him. The wall of pink comes up.
I call it the year.
The year?
Shout out to Ken in Black. He called it the year for the very longest. I still call it the year to this day. okay, just go open up. I think the one thing a lot of players aren't thinking about is Pump's boo, especially from CT, right? Like no one plays. Like the one thing I credit Mass for is the character. No one in CT plays Nava. No one in CT plays Ajin. No one in CT plays X character, right? So it's kind of like it could be interesting is how does CT, and like that's a question, like how does CT deal with the character pool versus just CT? How does Mass deal with CT's oppression at points? So
oh my god, that chase down off the reflect.
Yeah, that was massive right here, and that's also going to be the character.
Dude,
Cravate, you actual madman.
Cravate is definitely like coming from that Marvel
Oh,
background.
not. Right? Oh, that's right. I was a little bit. Oh, went for the pogo stick to try to cross up. That was a really nice option. Unfortunately, Yamcha going to get the better of him here.
Yeah, I think Cravate is definitely somebody that's improved. I remember him during the qualifier. So he qualified for a three-way dance between Andre, JMD Rose, and himself. And I remember him. He was like, "Dude, I don't know how to qualify." And I was like, "Shut up! You're gonna qualify. You're not gonna just do commentary. You're gonna be in the tournament itself." And like, I think the confidence is definitely boosted since the qualifier, and like you've kind of just seen that. Like his results have gotten way better. Granted, like he's not making top 4 or top 3 as much, but you're definitely seeing him rise to the ranks of Mass for sure, because Mass has become like kind of a Shark Tank every week.
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit earlier on, where we were talking about how in CT, Kite is often the favorite when he enters. In Mass, it's really a toss-up. Like any given week, like maybe Mike Volcanic Kakuma feeling on, and he's just got the reads, and he runs through everybody. And then on the next week, Young Fish is just feeling sharp and takes it for his own. It's really a toss-up.
Yeah, I think too. Like another thing that kind of is a detriment is that a lot of people from CT don't travel. This is gonna be the first time people from certain people like Dayman and Taz are gonna be playing people like Pump, like Pete, like so. This will be a very interesting clash of styles. For sure, because for the most part, people in Mass only know about two players. Myself, I should not lie. Myself, Javi, Mozo, Gak, and Kite. And Gak, Mozo, myself, and Javi, the only footage they have on us is from the month / the day and the night before. So that's all that. It's confirmed by Pumper Jam. Pumper Jam is very much kind of in control of a lot, and he definitely plays to that strength. I feel like a lot of these players are going to be looking out for that. I think with Cravate in particular, he's very much like once he gets rolling, he's kind of one of those players that will kind of keep momentum. One thing to kind of note, and I've noticed this about New England Dragon Ball period, everybody loves to burn Spark on their first character.
Yeah, I think everyone has spent level 1 sparking. Yeah. I have not seen a level 3 sparking in any of the games we've watched.
Like, and it's kind of crazy. Like the way everybody's playing in both states have been.
Can we talk about this cooler though? Like he was very far behind and managed to wrestle his way in with this big body, which is actually really impressive.
It's Bueller.
It's Bueller.
Like, it's Bueller. Jay, you're not even from Mass. I'm not even from Mass.
I know it's look, I'm living through chat. I'm living vicariously through chat right now.
Like, I remember No Kami was trying to play cooler, right?
Yeah.
And he does not know how to spell Bueller. And I was like, man, if he knew that you need to capitalize the R instead of capitalize the F, the B, you know the truth. Nice level 3.
Yeah, and before that defensive read to play around Pump's EX Rasengan into Yamcha was crazy. It's what let him, make that happen. He went from, about to get mauled in the corner with some stupid oppressive high-low into sneaking out and getting the character for it.
Yeah, I mean, and the way he's managed to wrestle control this match back is incredibly impressive. Because, I mean, he was down a full character and sparking. Like, and now he's in the lead at this point. Oh, and the 3H to get in there on this Yamcha.
Oh my god.
Stuff. Yeah, so So you called out he calls out some Marvel characters from his background that sort of fill some of the functions, and the ones he called out were Wolverine, Hulk, Rocket Raccoon. And those are all characters that are super high priority and go in. This is a team where he's got moves that are high priority that let him go in. 3H, dive kick plus assist, 5LL from Bardock and GT. He is coming for you.
Yes, it is. And we're actually going to pause it right here. So this time, actually, we'll kick it over to Flokey. Why don't you kind of sum up how you're feeling about Cravate here? Talk about some of what we saw here, his play style, and how you see him doing.
Okay, so I think Cravate is actually one of the dark. I think he makes top 4 or top 8 minimum.
Okay.
I think he's one of the. I think him as a player, he had a lot to prove, especially with qualifying. He felt like he did have a lot to prove when he made it, and him getting the spot was something that he was really surprised he did.
Yeah.
One of the quotes I want to pull up again from the profile. It means a lot. I've had some awesome highlights, clips, flash moments in gaming, especially in my close to 10 years in the FGC, and to be able to show my style off, and I still got it to everyone is pretty awesome. But to me, it also just means another chance to stress some people out and get them tight as hell.
Oh,
just living
my
best
God.
life China style on you for the highlight reel. The question is going to be, how does Carmine handle Cooler? Because based on the teams that I know Carmine for, I don't know if the Super Saiyan, the Optimal Prince, is going to take down the leader of the Buller gang that easily. Brad, what do you think?
Well, I think, like I had just said, the team is very much allows for him to play with that intensity. It allows for him to get in there and sit behind these high priority things. But he's been, like you had said, he's been in the scene almost 10 years. You're going to develop fundamentals. You're going to develop a lot of game sense in that time. And he's going to have that ability to, slow things down when he needs to. I've played sets with him on and off through the lifespan of this game, and I can chart his improvement, from earlier on playing, pre-patch 16, which similarly enough is another character that it was, he steps on the gas and he gets in and he stays there.